interactive because I'm talking about Cephalonian library introductions. Has anyone been to Cephalonia? Oh, one person has too. Lovely. I never have. I don't think that's relevant. But I hope that you've got lovely pictures and memories and things. Has anyone ever heard of Cephalonian library introductions before? Oh, so I'm teaching to the converted to a certain extent. You can do them in a variety of ways. I thought I would do one for you here, just to see what it's all about. So, picture the scene. You are slightly pimply, around about 18, and just arriving into Cambridge, and you're thinking, I need to be using this library, and I'll attend a library introduction. So, you're forming that little, going back a year or two, you're just picturing it. Okay, wipe that from your mind and move forward. So, you've attended a library introduction. You're going to be coming into the medical library. Forgive me, that's the one I know best about. What is it that you're coming into the library wanting to know about?
Opening times.
Opening times, lovely. Well, the library's open from 8 until 10 in the evening and is open from 9 till 5 on a Saturday, and the library's always staffed, so there's always going to be somebody around that can help you. What else would you want to know?
How many books can I have?
You can have 5 books at any one time. The loan period is 4 weeks, 5 and 4. And you can renew them one time only, so bear that in mind. We send out email reminders and it says 25 pence, but fine if you bring it back late. So 5 books for 4 weeks is the key thing to have in mind. What else would you like? Have we got Wi-Fi? Yes, we have. As well as all this 60 computers that you can have access to, we've also got the university network Wi-Fi. We've also got 3 computers which are on the hospital network. If you're coming to the medical library, maybe you've got a clinical head on. Maybe getting access to hospital information is going to be useful as well. So we have Wi-Fi, we have PCs, and we have hospital internet access. What else would you want to know?
Where do I get passwords for electronic resources?
Where do you get passwords? Well, since you're a member of the university, then you're going to have a Raven password, and because you're studying medicine, then you could have an NHS Athens password as well. So if you go to the website, you'll see links for the 2 of those, and you should have the. And you can see how it would go on. You don't want to know about the medical library, but you're prompting the students to be asking the questions that they find most useful. You're encouraging them to think, well, what is the thing that I want to know? And I didn't just answer a question. I hope you noted that I built a little bit on top. I didn't just say it's open from 8 till 10. I said there's going to be member staff available on duty all the time, and tried to encourage that sort of awareness that there was more than just the straight answer to this question. There was a little bit more, but it was all about what's important to you as a student coming in, and what can I flesh out that you didn't know that you didn't know, because you want to know a little bit more. So we're all sitting in a room, we're not touring around a library, but you're getting a picture of what the library has and what it can do. There's other people that do much fancier things with Cephalonian introductions. They have a big lecture hall. Sometimes they would issue random students with a coloured card, and the red questions have questions that are asking about opening times and number of books, and the blue questions are asking about the information skills training. And so they lead the questions through, and so it's got a variety of pros and cons, which I'll come on to, but you can have a little bit of spontaneity in there. The students are getting to ask the questions. You're fixing it a little bit by issuing them a card with the picture, with the question printed on it, but you're still encouraging them to think about, well, gosh, yeah, that is actually quite useful for me to know where the printer is, and how many credits I can use to print out whatever. There's some people that use music involved in it as well, so that a blue question would have a particular theme of music, or they have just music playing as the students come into the lecture hall to receive the induction, because not all people have them touring around the library. Sometimes they're just in a lecture hall, so oh crikey, half an hour of library introduction, you are kidding. So just trying to break it up and mess it up a little bit. What do you think would be the advantages of doing this style, whether it's just a few random questions or whether it's a more formalised, colour-coded situation? What do you think are the advantages?
Keep them awake.
Keep them awake, absolutely. Hopefully.
You won't forget about anything that you should tell them.
Well, hopefully yes, because they're the ones that are asking the questions. It's not just a droning set of information coming through. So yeah, hopefully they're going to be thinking about what the answers are and what the questions are that they're wanting to find out about.
You can find out what's actually important to them and see if it's the same as what you thought was important.
Which is very important as well, yeah. Are we telling them stuff that they're going to find useful at all? So hopefully they're asking the stuff, or they're getting the most useful stuff rising to the top. And you're squeezing in a few things that they didn't know would be useful as well.
You're also making them you're just getting them to ask questions, so once they've asked you one question, they're more likely maybe to come back and ask you a question in the future when it's not an induction and they want to know something.
So you're getting a bit of engagement, you're being a person to them, not just a body at the front who's boring them senseless. So yeah, there's that personal engagement as well. And you can say, oh yeah, you asked me about this, didn't you? Here, when you're in the library, I'm going to take you and show you it. Or it gets that personal feel. Is anyone absolutely terrified by the prospect of not knowing what order the thing is going to be in? So potentially, you've got no idea what order there's going to be in, you've got no idea whether the right question is going to come up, that you can ramrod your bit of information you want them to have into it. So there's a little bit of danger, if you like, with that, but it's all good fun. It depends how you like to work, I suppose, but it just changes the possibilities and changes the way that they could potentially be perceiving the library, because you're having a conversation at the very first meeting. And I think that's half of the important thing about it. You're having a conversation with them. What's important to you? I'll be able to give you the things that you find important. I'm talking so fast, I'm not going to give myself the 1 minute fix. So that was just the way that I use the Cephalonian is basically, I don't often do large lecture hall inductions into the library. It's mostly small groups, and so that works quite well because they know each other and they know the ones that's going to, in any group situation, who's going to ask the question first, and it's okay, so, oh yeah, she didn't ask us about books, but I'm going to ask a question too. So it's a little bit more relaxed perhaps. It's encouraging them to think together as a group and be prompted by each other as well, because if one person knows that they should expect to get e-journals, but the rest of the group had never even thought of it, then it starts them thinking as well and gets them working and saying, you used e-journals, do you know how to actually get into them? So they could be learning from each other, as well as knowing that hopefully the library's a place for a conversation about these sorts of things as well. I am genuinely not going to be able to give myself a 1 minute fix. Jump in.
For those of us who haven't heard of it before, how do you spell the word?
Like the Greek
So I'll
island.
look it up on the,
CEPHALON. Thank you. For those who have actually been. So it's absolutely just like the Greek island. Lovely people in Cardiff, I think, discovered that tour operators were going around saying, crikey, if I have to do another package tour with a bus load of people and I have to say the same spiel again, I'm going to rip my own head off. How can I make it more interesting for me and also for them, and also find out what they want to know about the place that they're coming to visit? And lovely people, Nigel and, what were their names? Nigel and Linda. Nigel and Linda in Cardiff, I transferred it into library introductions. And if you just Google Cephalonian Method, you'll get to their webpage with lots of links and nice ideas. As I say, sometimes they use the colour coding, sometimes they use a whole scenario, sometimes they just answer the people's questions, because that's the important thing. Are they hearing that we're useful? And if we're not giving the stuff that they consider useful, what's the point? They're never going to come back. So tell them, answer their what's useful questions. So that's my Cephalonian method. Thank you very much.